Welcome back to True Creations. I'm Jerry Paul. I went to a garage sale last week. Was it last week or the week before? Or, I don't know. It was a little while ago. Birds. There. Oh wow. Anyway, I was at a garage sale about a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe. I don't know. Time just flies. Must be getting old. Anyway, and for $20, look what I got. I got this. It's a rotary tool. But mind you, I guess you could probably tell that by, the looks of it. It's in really good shape, actually. And also, that's not all. But wait, there's more. Got the whole kit with it. Well, not the whole kit, because there's obviously some parts missing. But, let's see, can you see in there? Got a little bucket full of sanding drums, and a polishing nub thing or something like that. Bunch of different bits. Got some cut-off discs, some sanding discs, polishing compound. So yeah, that's pretty cool. For $20. $20. So, I cannot complain about that. Yeah, pretty happy about that little purchase. The only thing it doesn't have is a rotary attachment for the end of the rotary tool. Basically, it's a cone that goes over top of the bit, and then it helps keep it stable. I'm going to make one today on the lathe out of wood. I hope it works. We'll find out soon enough. So okay, here we are at the lathe. Here's what I intend to do. Got a little block here of some box elder maple. I've got a cone kind of just roughly drawn out. This is just an estimation. Now it's a little bit too big for my 4-jaw chuck. Well, it's quite a bit too big for my 4-jaw chuck. So I'm going to have to start this off between centers. And when I do, I'm going to first make a tenon on this side, on the bottom of the cone, flip it around. Then I'm going to make a tenon on the top, make the rough cone shape that I want, and then I'm going to drill a hole through the top corresponding to the size of the rotary tool. That way I can stick that in there, and I'll find a way of fastening it afterwards. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to start like that, and once I get the cone, or once I get that hole dug, once I get the hole drilled, I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to mount it on the top tenon, the top of the cone, flip it around, and work on the inside of the cone. And I'm going to leave kind of a larger lip here and just kind of come in along the side. After that, I'm going to drill a 1-inch hole on two sides of the cone in order to get the dust out, and so I can see what I'm carving. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, I'll have to do something else, but we'll kind of play it by ear and see how it works. Alright, now the first thing I gotta do is get rid of the chuck. Sorry, Chuck, but you're just not needed anymore. There we go. That way I can just squeeze it and it pops right off.
See you later, Chuck.
I give this a whack. Get my mallet.
Alright. Just that.
Get roughly in the center there. At this point, it's not really all that crucial. We just have to take it down around and then make a cone. There. Okay. Wonderful. Alright, first thing I'm going to want to do is get this down around. To do that, I'll use my spindle gouge, my spindle roughing gouge. Just want to make sure I'm not going to hit my tool rest. Okay, moved it in a little. Oh, we're still okay here. Here, open that up. Alright, got that cut down around. Good. Now I'm going to start tapering it in towards the headstock, and then I'm going to make a tenon on the bottom.
You think that was cool?
Okay, that's looking good. Good. Now I'm just going to make a tenon on the bottom, flip it around. Alright, I've adjusted my tool rest a little bit so I could get my blade in there, using my skew chisel to create the tenon. Sounds like somebody needs to sharpen their skew. I'll be right back. There we go, that should help. Much nicer. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around.
Give it a snug, doesn't need much. But I only need these. Oops, wrong way. You'd think I'd know my machine by now. Apparently I don't. There we go. Nice and tight. Tight like a tiger. Good.
Okay, and right now, I just want to clean up the space a little bit. Get rid of the tooth marks from the, this is not really necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. The tooth marks from the spur drive, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I just want to make sure I have enough of a body here to accommodate the rotary tool. Right now I have the round carving bit in there, if you can see that. Maybe if I stopped moving it, you could. There you go. And I've got it sunk deep down into the shaft, so it's as deep as it'll go. I just want to see what kind of a reach I'm going to have with that. And it looks to me like I can still go. Yeah, let me get a pencil here. These guys that have workshops and can't find a pencil. Jeez. You're talking about me. So yeah, I can still take, looks a little bit, let's say 3/8. But yeah, I can take about 3/8 of that off there. 3/8 of the wood off there. Blah, 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 blah. Talking too much. Okay, but before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine the shape of this. I'm going to taper that down a little bit. And then I'm going to put the tenon on, and then we're going to drill the hole. That'll do. And I've decided, as you can see, because I put the taper on here, I'm going to take that extra 3/8 off the bottom when I get it spun around. But the next thing I have to do now, get a little center point on my block here so that I can drill my hole. Basically, I just put it in there. There's a little center point in there. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Maybe you can now. There you can. Whoops, you could. Now you can't. There it is. There it is. Right there. Little center point.
I'm gonna put my check in there, my drill check, Jacob's check, whatever you want to call it. Bam, like that.
Alright, let's drill us a hole here. Don't have to go that deep. I don't want to go that deep. Deep enough, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper just so I know how far away I need to be when I need to stop.
Drilling down into the funnel shape. That should do the trick. Now I'm just going to spin this around.
Alright, there we go. Finally warm enough for me to take off my jacket. It's cool out this morning. Yeah, like I say, I'm going to take about 3/8 of an inch off of this. Let me just get my pen here and mark that. Looks like I'm a little bit off. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that too much. It's not one thing, it's another. I'm too low. Oh, you know what? I'll just use a bigger blade. There we go. Get on my big boy hammer. Still too low. I'm still gonna use my big guy on this one. That's a bit of overkill, I think. I'll use my little guy. Just a little closer now. Okay, now I want to have a really good foot on here, nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that rather wide, and I'm going to just kind of undercut a little bit and then make the rest of the walls quite even. Hopefully, that's the goal. Okay, so I've made it through to my hole now. I'm just going to give it a little bit of an inspection. See how we're looking. Yeah, that looks good. That looks real good. Just got to clean that up in there. Right now my walls are quite evenly thick. That's a good thing. But still, actually that'll give me extra support to drill my hole. But yeah, let me clean that hole up a little bit. First of all. Actually, no, I want that in there. Just, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave it because if I push my luck, I'm gonna end up blowing out the side or something. So now what I have to do is I'm going to get my 1-inch bit and my drill, which I already have. And I'm just gonna roughly mark where approximately the center is. Doesn't have to be perfect on this. It's just a window. 2 windows. So I'm going to say that is about center. Yeah. And then I'm going to use my spaces in my 4-jaw chuck as a guide as to where my holes are going to be drilled. So there's one hole. I'll go around 180 degrees. Whoops. Drop my pen. It's okay. And that looks about right. So there's my 2 holes. Now, you know what? I'm going to... Where's my awl? It's my eggy awl. There we go. Good. Ouch. Oh, the wall is thin. It went right through. Poked my finger. Alright, now I'm going to move this out of the way. So I don't need to be drilling into my... Here. You know what? So you can see what I'm doing. I'll move you around here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm on my mark here. I'm getting my point of my Forstner bit in there. I'm going to kind of try and stay level with the bevel here until I get in there. Doing some rocking around up there. Drilling onto the thin round surface. Yeah. This may not have been the best idea in hindsight. Now, let me revisit this. Oh yeah, that's probably part of the problem too. So, oh jeez. You know, it worked really well in my brain. Actually, that's not too bad. I can clean that up with my Rotary tool. That actually looks like crap. But, let's see. I'm going more after the function than the form. See if I can make this a better hole. Well, I made it through. It's an ugly hole. Really ugly. Let's see if I can fix that up. Maybe I can spin that out of there. Oh my god. He's gonna go after it with the blade. Yeah, for that bit. or hinder me. Well, it looks like it helped a little bit. Got a little chatter because it's quite thin right at the top of this thing. So let's see if I can't sand that up a little bit. No worries about the ugly hole, really. I've got a tool for that now. See how it works. Alright, I think that will do. Like I say, this is mostly about function. I just want to be able to see what I'm doing and carve some stuff out. I think that's going to work just dandy. Now, sand in here. Well, this isn't anything fancy. It's more about the form than the function. Or it's more about the function than the form. So, but I do want to protect it, so I'm going to put some mineral oil on it. Haven't scraped up enough money yet to go and get me any of the finishes that I want, so mineral oil's what I got right now. I just want to keep it protected, and I'm not going to worry about the top part that's in there with the in the chuck, because I want that to remain not oiled. I have a plan for that. Now, just going to get some oil in here, let it soak it up, and maybe give it another coat. Just want to give it a little bit of protection. Boy, that actually looks kind of cool for a slapped together tool accessory. This was just an idea. I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out very well or not. I could have probably thought of a better way of making those holes, probably with the rotary tool. And I'll do that next time I make one of these. I think I'll do this for my television show too, which I'll be shooting again. My camera guy's been off on holidays, and I've been busy in the garden, getting the garden in. There, okay. Yeah, boy, that's sucking it right up. This is a nice dry piece of maple here. I'm just going to give that a really good coating, and then I'm going to take it out of the chuck and go to the next step on this thing. Just trying to line it up here. Yeah. Ha, pushed it in a little too much now. Once I get it dialed in, this will be relatively easy. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that's going to give me a nice and shallow cut. Now, how am I going to hold this on there? Pickles. Alright, it's a bit unconventional, but I'm going to use hot glue. I could split the router base and put a screw in it to make kind of a compression fit, but I don't want to. This will work just fine, I believe. Let that cool a little bit before I do the back. Basically, I just need to be able to see the bit and whatever pattern I'm cutting out. I'm going to let that set up for a bit. This is why I didn't want to oil the top side of this. And I I should still have access to the bit, etc. Alright, now that's cooled for a few minutes. It seems pretty solid on there. Still have access to my button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen that off. And I'm just kind of eyeballing where the bit is here. And that looks like that's going to give me a nice shallow little cove groove. A semicircle there. So let's give this a shot, shall we? And plug it in. I'll get my board on here. Rough sawn board. And let's see. Maybe I'll draw something out here. Hang on. Let me get a pencil. All right. Let's try. Well, let's try tree creations. Nah, I don't like that. I'll just try and follow the line here. Alright. And I'm going to get a sawhorse to sit on. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how this works. Oh man, that was loud. Yeah, I think that's gonna work just fine. Thanks for watching.